I don't need a name. It's God.
Okay, so let me go back to the main point. Well, first of all, there's two things here. One thing that we know that there's many people who worship a God called a false God. Okay. For example, Christian worship Jesus.
So
so there's other gods. That's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran. Allah is the truth, and whatever they call besides him are the false gods. So we can only negate something which exists in the reality, which is a false god, which people take in God beside the true God. So people, in order for you to distinguish between the true God and the false God, the true God has to have a name. Okay, that's one thing. The other thing is, well, let me go back to the main point. You, Jordan, what you're going to do now, you're going to bring your opinion. Likewise, I'm going to bring my opinion. Both of them are what? Subjective, not objective, correct? The only thing that we have to bring something which is objective is from the Creator himself. So if we establish Prophet Muhammad is a true prophet, so my argument will be, okay, he's a true prophet, and the Creator will not choose a liar to convey his message, and the message that he came with, that God's name is Allah. So who are you to go and say, no, that is not his name, or we should not give him a name? If God himself named himself Allah, and he told his messengers that is his name.
What language did the Prophet Muhammad speak?
Prophet spoke Arabic.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the Prophet Muhammad had to give the name of God in Arabic to his Arab people. No? If the Prophet Muhammad was in Spain and was speaking Spanish, he would have had a different name to give to his people. It wouldn't have been Allah.
Who said that?
I'm saying, I don't know. This is like you said, my opinion to opinion. Yeah?
Because Jesus spoke Aramaic.
No.
His name is Ilo.
Now, before you said Jesus and you said that you made a point about Christianity.
So Allah's name always existed.
Hang on, you made a point about Christianity, yeah? Now, one thing I want to make, because Christianity says one thing, 10 commandments. The first commandment says there is one God.
That's true.
Now, I don't care what Christians say.
Yeah.
One God. So Christians can't come to me and say Jesus is God.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Because there is one God.
But they do. Some of them do believe.
Some of them do.
That's
believe.
what I'm saying.
I'm going to make another point. I don't call myself Christian. I don't call myself. I am a believer. I believe in God, in one God.
In one God.
In one God.
So you have that something which is called a natural inclination, which is you naturally. Everyone knows that you're born to believe there is a creator. You have something. But now my question to you, before we go to the name of God and this and that, you know naturally that you should appreciate and be grateful to your creator, correct? Okay. Logic dictates, Jordan, the only way to know how to worship our creator is what? According to our way or according to his way? According to God's way.
Okay, now I believe this. So this is my understanding of what I've been taught. Okay, we are born with a spirit, a soul, a something inside us. Yeah. Okay. This is from God. This is the portion of us that is from God. Our body, our physical body here is of the earth. Yeah. We were made, like if you take the Quran, the Bible, we were made from clay and we were given a spirit, and the spirit is put in us. That spirit itself is the godly part of us. That is my natural inclination to know I need to go and give and show appreciation.
So you said, so go ask your question, you haven't answered it. So you believe that you have something which is godly in you?
I believe all people do.
So how come
I believe all people have a spirit, a soul, and that is a godly part in all people.
So how come we worship different things, if that's correct?
I don't see, now this is my next point. I don't believe we worship different things.
So
I believe we worship one thing.
Jordan.
Now, many people
so when
have
the Christian
different ideas about
Jordan,
one thing.
step by step. When the Christian worship Jesus, are they worshiping God?
They're not worshiping.
So the spirit that they have in them, is a godly spirit telling them to worship God or Satan?
I think.
See, that's not the case.
It's not about. So I think Satan for me is a very. That's a different part.
That's a different subject. But the main point is that you're wrong for saying that. I understand we have something called in Arabic language. Use is a fitra, which is natural inclination. Okay. That everyone here, worldwide, were born with something natural inclination. For one of them, you don't have to go to school to learn that you should not get married to your own mother. Naturally, you know that it's wrong. It's well established one know. You don't have to go to school to tell you that you should, for example, you should be good to your mother. Naturally, you know that take care of me. Anyone here, even you don't know him, if he do something good to you, naturally you should what? Be grateful to him. That's something called natural inclination. The other one is what? To worship your creator. That's why there was a study done at Oxford University, and they spent 1.9 million on the project of 3 years. What is the origin of human beings? Is it to believe in God or not to believe in God? They came to the conclusion that children are naturally born to believe in the Creator, which is natural inclination, which Prophet Muhammad mentioned 1400 years ago. That he said every child is born with a natural inclination. Okay, you have that. That is not godly If you say godly mean God gave it to you, but it's not part of God.
Okay.
God gave it to you, yes, you're right. God gave it to me, to him. So what happened? God gave you something which is like a padlock. So the only key to open that padlock, without any doubt, if you try Christianity, Judaism, Hinduism, will not open padlock. The only key that goes in line with you, padlock, is Islam. Because you believe in one God, Islam tell you, yes, correct, there is one God. But you know, naturally you should worship your God. How? That's what the Prophet and Messengers came with, a revelation. And they opened the lock. Is you with me?
I understand.
Okay. So now my point here is, let us focus on something. Many people say, yes, I should be grateful to God. I should worship God. But we tell them, okay, if you want to buy a gift for your mother, would you buy a gift that you love or your mother love? You're going to buy a gift your mother love. Okay. Likewise, if I want to worship the Creator, I should worship him the way he loves. That's why, based upon the Creator's justice and mercy and wisdom, he chose people amongst us from our kind. But again, the Creator knows some people, they're going to be liars, deceivers, evildoers, and they're going to claim to be prophets of his, but they are liars. So when the Creator chose people amongst us, he gave them a criteria to distinguish them from a true prophet and a false prophet. And the criteria is, so far, are you, does it make sense? Okay, so what is the criteria? One of them, Jordan, they are known amongst their nations and their society to be truthful, honest, and they're good people. Why? Because if some, Jordan, imagine you and I, we know someone, a liar here, biggest liar, and he comes to us, he say, you know, I'm a prophet of God. You're gonna think, hold on, you're the biggest liar ever existed to me, you're a prophet of God. So we have what? We have an excuse to reject him. That's why God is the most wise. When he chose prophets and messengers, he chose those who are known amongst their nations to be trustworthy, truthful. Jesus was one of them, Moses, Prophet Muhammad. What I'm gonna do, Jordan, I'm going to focus on the Prophet Muhammad, because if I establish Prophet Muhammad is a true messenger of the Creator, logic dictate you should believe what he came with, because the Creator will not choose a liar to convey his message.
Now,
does it make sense so far?
As you continue, I want you to understand, I want you to know that I believe in prophets and I believe in the Prophet Muhammad and his message. Very much so, yeah?
Okay.
Like, I don't argue his message. I believe his message was true and pure. And, yeah? Yeah?
Okay.
And I believe so too were all the previous prophets before.
Yeah?
Now, if he is the last prophet,
yeah,
we are just men. So none of us can claim prophethood, none of us can claim perfection, none of us can claim, like you said earlier, we are all liars here. Yeah, at some point we have all told a lie. We are not perfect. We cannot go and claim that prophethood. Okay?
Yes.
So none of us can really come and try and not even argue or say, because we can try our best to do the right, but none of us can say we know perfectly of how things should go.
That's true. Because we are human.
We are human.
Yes, we are. By nature, we are imperfect.
Okay.
And deficient.
Earlier I said, I made a point of the Prophet Muhammad's message itself came from who?
From the Creator.
From the Creator, no?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're his words. They're the Creator's words.
Yes,
this is why I believe in his words, the Quran itself.
Okay.
Yeah? Anything else from this, so for an example, within these words it was said that anything I need to do to unlock, for an example, like you gave the metaphor of the padlock and the key, anything I need to do to unlock that padlock is within the Quran.
Yes, that's
yeah?
right.
All I need to do is read the Quran.
But with the Quran, so you're Muslim?
Yes, I believe.
Because in the Quran, Allah said in the Quran, He named you Muslims.
Now, I believe, but this is my point.
How are you?
I'm okay, how are you? Good to see you. I believe, yeah, but now it's not about so much about me, it's about the connotations that if I call myself a Muslim, how does everyone else believe I believe? Does that make sense?
But actions, you have to action. You have to show it.
My actions, fine. I show my actions. I can be humble, I can have a lovely conversation with you here today. But if I just say I am a Muslim, how is everyone else's perception of me going to be, for an example? So
some people good, some people think bad.
No, this is it. So my thing is...
But we don't care about people, how they think of us.
I understand this.
Because we care about Allah.
I understand this, and this is fine. But there are... I don't know how the best way to convey my point. I apologize.
No problem at all, man. I'm the worst person in this world when it comes to speeches. You know, go on.
I think it's more just... I am as much a Christian as I'm a Muslim, because I believe as much as from the Bible as I do the Quran. And if I take Jesus's, because the Bible is not made up of Jesus' words. That's
correct.
That's
it's John and Mark and
Matthew
and Paul.
Now they're going to be men.
Yeah.
They told me to do what Jesus did, and I have to follow Jesus' message. And now, if I'm going to try my best to follow Jesus' message, not his word, not the words, not the biblical words, but Jesus' message, then that message is going to be as close to Muhammad's message as possible. Because Muhammad even said, every prophet before me had pretty much the same message, and no one was listening. No one was listening.
People listen, but not all of them.
And not all of them.
But Jordan, let me just please, because you've been speaking for quite long, but I want to clarify two things. No problem at all. Look, if you believe in the Quran, and you believe the Quran is the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the creator of the heavens and the earth, there will be a contradiction. You saying I believe in the Quran, and you go and guess what is in the Quran? Because in the Quran Allah told us, هو الذي سماكم المسلمين من قبل وفي هذا. Allah is the one who named you Muslims in this book and the previous scriptures. See? So if Allah named me Muslim, I don't care about any person what he think of me. Because, let me finish my point. Because who named me that is my creator. And who knows about me in details better than anyone else? My creator. Just as the one who knows about your camera in details is its maker, likewise the one who knows about us in details, our creator. That's one thing. The other thing, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala already clarified to us that the people of the book before us have corrupted their scriptures. You know? And let me ask you a question. If there is a book been corrupted, and it was from God, but it's been corrupted, do you think God the most wise, the more just, will leave us with a corrupted book, or he will clarify the truth to us?
He will clarify it. However, there men still exist upon this earth, and men will still go around this earth, still corrupting the message.
No. Before we go to man, so you're right. He will clarify the truth to us. That's what Allah said in the Quran, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned about the Quran. Yes. Muhaymin mean is the witness over the scriptures before it, and abrogated it, and also is what is what they call it. I mentioned witness and abrogated it, and it confirms the truth therein in the previous scriptures. So we are not in need to go back to the old scriptures, because already Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent us the Quran, which Allah within the Quran said, today I have perfected the religion for you, and I'm pleased for Islam to be what? Your way of life, and I have bestowed my favor upon you. That's it. You see what I'm saying? Now man changing things, that is a different subject. Of course, like in the Quran, because they couldn't change the wording of the Quran, they do what? They change the meaning. They know that's what it means, because they couldn't change the wording, because Allah preserved it. However, because Prophet Muhammad is the last prophet, even the meaning is being preserved, because the Messenger of Allah said that there will be a group of my ummah manifesting upon the truth, and they will not be harmed by those who oppose them or those who betray them, until Allah's promise will come to pass. Jordan. So if you believe the Quran is the truth, within the Quran it gives us a guideline. One of the guidelines that you follow Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. One of the guidelines that you follow the way of his companions. So Quran is a perfect book of teaching. For example, now, so the Quran gives you what?
I agree with what you're saying.
Alhamdulillah, Jordan. So Jordan, what I would say, brother, look, I was speaking to one guy, and she was a girl with her brother, yeah? It was here over there, it's been recorded. So her brother, because he comes from this chemist, and he said, you don't name God he or she. I said, first of all, this he and she, in Arabic language, when we say he, doesn't necessitate is a girl or a boy. What is the proof of that? Shams. In Arabic language, we say, ha hiya Shams, she. But the sun is not a woman. And the moon, we say he. The moon is not a man. You see? So when we say Allah is he, because he refers to himself as he.
That's very interesting. I got another thing that's going to...
Okay. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, look, the beauty of the Quran, how clarify the truth to us. Allah said he's he, but Allah also said in the Quran, لَيْسَ كَمِثْلِهِ شَيْءٌ وَهُوَ السَّمِيعُ الْبَصِيرُ. So even Allah referred to himself as he, but remember, Allah already clarified to you, there is nothing like unto him, and he's the all-hearing and the all-seeing. Likewise, Allah said, there is no one comparable to him. Likewise, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned, there is nothing like unto him.
So you made 2 points.
Is that clear so far?
Yes, so you made 2 points. Now my one point is, like you said,
this is like to drink. It's cold, my brother.
If Shamsi, you said what about Islam and Muslims?
sorry.
No worries.
لبس الحمد لله مني بارك الله فيك. السلام عليكم.
ما في شيء.
لبس كأخويا لبس الحمد لله تتنشنش انت دخلت لنا. Go on, sorry Jordan.
No worries.
Go on, brother.
You said Muslim, yeah? And you said
Allah named us Muslims,
Muslims.
and also Allah gave us a guideline.
Allah would have named us Muslims in Arabic because that is the language. This is my earlier point. This is the language that Prophet Muhammad was speaking.
Yes.
Fine. So if Muslim means believer and I say I'm a believer, isn't it one and the same? Has Allah not named me the same thing?
Believers, yes.
Yeah, fine. So that's the first point. It doesn't really matter what I'm calling myself. The language is different, but it means the same thing.
Yes.
As long as it holds the same meaning.
But we have to understand, a believer is an attribute. It's not really like a...
Okay,
because it can remove...
Why can't it be an attribute to the correct thing? Why can't it be...
No, but you mix it between two. Because if you're going to come to Allah's name, that's different. Allah's name is a name and attribute as well. You understand?
Right.
Allah means, if anyone wants to translate Allah's name, you cannot really translate, but the meaning, the rough meaning, it comes from the word al-ma'luh, al-ma'bud, meaning the one who deserves to be worshipped in truth.
Okay.
Just Allah, if you translate into English, look how long is it now? The one who deserves to be worshipped in truth.
Okay,
that's the meaning of it.
I'm telling you,
So
I believe that, and that is my belief. So, for example, you said that's long. Yeah.
In translation,
in translation, it's long, isn't it?
Yeah.
But as a believer, that is my belief. Yeah? Doesn't it mean the same thing? Fine. There's no more argument. I can't lie. There's no more argument.
Yeah, but the point is, you have to distinguish between the two. Like now, if I go to a Christian, I'm gonna give it that way, yeah, or to a Yahudi, or to a Jew, or to an atheist. I'm not going to tell him Allah, because maybe he must misunderstand, okay? So I will tell him God. Then I explain to him, the God I'm referring to, he has named himself Allah. So if you understand that, so you should name him with which he named himself with, okay? Refer to him as Allah. Because if you know how to pronounce it, alhamdulillah. If you don't know, لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. Allah is not going to judge you about something which is beyond your ability. You understand? So Allah mentioned the Quran. What's the verse? فلا وربك لا يؤمنون حتى يحكموك فيما شجر بينهم. By your Lord, Allah said to Prophet Muhammad, by your Lord, they will never believe, they will never have a complete belief and complete submission until they return to you in their affairs. You see? So we cannot say I'm a believer, but we're not submitting completely to the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us a guideline. Now, Prophet Muhammad alayhi he was not just a postman, come and give you a letter and do your own thing. No, Prophet he was a messenger of Allah to teach you how to understand the book. Likewise, you cannot just read a book of medicine and you become what? Doctor. You need a teacher to teach you the book of medicine, correct? Likewise, the book of Allah. That's why in the Quran, Allah...
Hang on. Why can't you read a book and understand the book without a teacher there? You don't always need a teacher to learn a book.
Does people go to school?
I'm a teacher.
Are you a teacher?
These are my students.
Who? Alhamdulillah, you teach them?
Yeah.
Where in school? Okay, so they need you. Because some stuff is not clear.
Okay.
Likewise in the Quran.
I know, for an example, he can do the science book and learn something by himself. He's done it.
Without any doubt. Likewise in the Quran, that's what Ibn Abbas said in the Quran, there is some verse in the Quran is clear, everyone can understand it. Like now, I don't need a teacher to tell me قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ means Allah is one. Is it clear? إِنَّمَا إِلَهُكُمْ إِلَهٌ وَاحِدٌ. Is it clear? But there's some verses in the Quran, you need the scholars and the Prophet Muhammad to explain it. Why? Because within the Quran, Allah told Prophet Muhammad, we have sent down the revelation to you, O Muhammad, in order for you to explain to the people what is being revealed to them. Likewise, that's how we can refute ISIS. Because ISIS, I know it's off subject, but it's not off subject, it's true. ISIS can read the book Quran and tell you my understanding, tell me to go do this and that. And I will read the Quran and tell me you're wrong. But both us, we have our subjective opinion. So how can we judge correctly? By telling, hold a minute, let us go back to Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, how he understood the Quran. Let us go back to the companions of the Messenger of Allah ﷺ, how they understood the Quran. If a person tell me, why are you doing that, Shamsi? Because I said to him, if you believe in the Quran, within the Quran, Allah gave us the guideline how to understand his book by going back to Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, to the companions and to the scholars. Is that clear so far?
It's clear. Yeah, I agree with you.
Jordan, it was my pleasure to speak to you, bro.
bro.
Are you a teacher of what, science?
I'm a maths teacher. I teach maths as my specialty. I have a cover. I teach them science.
So tell me, 1 + 1 + 1, how many? 3, alhamdulillah. Christian is a math teacher. 1 + 1 + 1 is 3, not 1. Jordan, it was my pleasure speaking to you, bro. You know, can we exchange numbers?
Of course.
You know?
I'd love to.
Yeah.
Shamsi,
It's really my pleasure to have Jazak Allah Khair.
يدي
اسمع لي اخويا جزاك الله حياكم الله يا old school for me.
Yeah, man, I'm still old.
How about your teacher?
Look good, yeah?
You have a blessed teacher, man. MashaAllah. I call myself.
Yeah,
Just
please, man.
save it, inshallah. We can meet up outside, you know.
That'd be nice.
It's my pleasure, Jordan,
I've got a
man.
new project I'm working on, so I might like now give you a call.
Yeah, inshallah.